It is time for the keys to life. And when I say keys to life, you say, when I say keys to life, you say, when I say keys to life, you say, hey, hey. Let's see. All right. Today is the 9th, I believe. Am I right? It's the 9th. Got to make sure I get it right. If I start giving y'all the keys to life for some other day, y'all be mad. I'm going to give y'all last week's keys to life. No, okay. Number one, value is different for everyone. Value is different for every single one of us. We may value things differently, which makes us treat them differently. We may think we value them the same and still what? Treat them differently. We may know we value them the same and still what? Treat them differently. Because we are not the same. What we consider to be priceless, we don't treat exactly the same. We didn't grow up the same. We didn't have the same mothers, the same fathers. And I can tell you, for having two brothers and one sister growing up, still under the same house, will not treat things that we count priceless the same. So what am I trying to get you to understand? One, understand yourself, and then understand the people around you. Why? Because they're not bad people because they don't do things how you do them. And if you look at them and you see that they're trying to love something, protect something, raise something up, count it as wonderful, count it as beautiful, and they don't do it the way you do it, it doesn't mean that they're doing it wrong. It just means they're doing it different. They're just doing it different. Now, can they learn from that? Absolutely. Can you learn from that? Absolutely. Because the more you learn how to value something. The more you have, the more you can value it better. When I was younger and I had less, I could not value everything the way I wanted to. I could not safeguard it. I could not protect it the way I wanted to. But now that I'm older, I've learned that some of the things that I did before were okay. I just have to change a little bit, and change a little bit, and change a little bit. What am I trying to get you to understand? I'm trying to get you to figure out your management of what you count important. Because Gabrielle's management is not going to be Kirsten's management. It's not going to be Zora's management. They deal with it off of their experience and what they know. So she may if I gave everybody $1,000 and I said, put it away so nobody can get to it. Somebody's going to put it in the bank. Somebody's going to put it in their mattress. It's likely Kirsten's going to put it in her mattress. And it's likely somebody's going to dig a hole outside and put it in the back. Everybody's got something they're going to do. And I want you to understand 3 things from this message, 3 things that you need to get. We're not all the same. We all grow differently at different times. And you have to learn how to respect that. If you don't like it and you can't get with it, get away. But you cannot get mad at something that you did not raise, something that you did not apply, you did not put into, you did not change. So as they grow and they get older and they find ways to show that it's important to them and they find ways to show that it's priceless to them, you have to learn how to respect whatever is happening. And it doesn't mean that you're wrong or they're wrong. It just means you're different. It just means you're different. Can you grow and say, you know what, I like what you did? Yes. Can they grow and see what you did and say, you know what, that is a new way to show how much I think this is important. That's a new way, and I'm going to try that. I'm going to apply that. Just don't make people feel bad for the work that they put out, even though it may not be the work level you work on. Because we don't all work on the same work level. We don't always carry the same workload. They are where they are, and you are where you are, and you need to work on where you are always. And as you grow, people will grow and fall off because they can't grow with you. And people that can't grow with you, sooner or later has to fall off. So you can't do anything about that, but you can continually get better. You can continually grow. So don't worry about who's not growing with you. Concern yourself about how far you're growing, that you're constantly growing, that you're constantly showing, that you're constantly getting better. Number one. Number two, has what you said helped you? Has what you said, past tense, helped you? What I mean by that in a few ways is, one, has it helped yourself? Because if you aren't pushing you, there's a problem. Stop looking for other people to push you. If you haven't said what you need to hear to get that thing done, or to be better, or to stop cursing, or to stop doing this, and if you haven't done that, what you're saying isn't working, and you need to try something else. When I tell myself to shut up, I shut up. When I tell myself do another rep, I do another rep. And so I know it's working by telling myself out loud, not inside, but actually out loud, to do what I want me to do. Secondly, but if I didn't, I would have to try what? Something else. Two, let me flip back. Another thing is, and I'll give you three different things real quick. I tell myself, often I surround myself with what's doing what I want to do. So my social media will have people exercising. It'll have people working to make different streams of income. And it has things that I want to achieve, so that it pushes me no matter what I open up on my phone or what I'm doing. So put that aside. Second thing is, what you said has what you said helped other people? Because if it ain't changed anybody, why are you still saying it? Sometimes you just got to shut up or say it differently. I've learned, and it took me a long time. I had a hard head about it. It was like, you know what? And I'm still working on it. I would say something and they'd be like, that didn't help. It's not what I said. It was just how I said it. And so I'm an introvert naturally, and I'm meticulous, and I'm kind of like straight to the point. I don't need any fluff. I don't want no fluff. I call Cleo and I say, I need you to fluff this so we can go to somebody else. Why? Because I don't have the fluff. But I found, watch me, how to work on my fluff. Because I realized I can't always call somebody to fluff. So one day, Kai called me, attitude, angry, mad, whatever about the situation. I said, you do this now. You do this different. All right. And I was hyped. I was excited. I'm not hyper excited. You're just getting this because of the caffeine. I came up and I was like, but you got it. And I'm pushing the bright side, sunny shine. And I'm like, but you can't worry about the kids. You did. And I'm running it. I was so proud. I was proud of me. It's few and far between it that happens, but I'm working on it. You understand what I'm saying? I know it. One, if you don't know it, you don't change it. Two, I've got to tell myself more. You can talk like that. You can work on that. You'll get more from her, him, them. Some people don't take because you got a nasty attitude. Like, they don't. I'm gonna give it to you straight, no. Like literally, because that's you. And Not everybody likes that. Not everybody likes it. That's me. But that's how I talk to me. But how I talk to me is not always beneficial on how I talk to everyone else. Even my children, I'm like, okay, yeah, that probably didn't work out well. I'm going to try it another way next time. Not this time, next time. Now, being a parent, you got to do things differently all the time. But what I want you to understand from this is if you're constantly chipping away at something and it's not breaking, maybe you need to use a different instrument. If you're trying to uphold something and it's not working, maybe you need to change the praise that you're using. If you're trying to love something and it's not working, maybe you need to change the love that you're using or increase it. If you're trying to do, if it's not working, stop doing the same thing expecting something different. Because you said it last time and that person walked away from you. So you gonna say it again? You tried to love them last time and they were like, now they jumped from you. You have no idea why they jumped from you. You ain't asked, and you don't know, you don't want to know. You probably do, but you didn't think about asking. You understand what I'm saying? So, you have to check these boxes. You have to ask yourself, why did this happen? And what part did I take in it? So that I don't have to worry about it happening again because I've learned my lesson. That's what it's about. Learning your lesson. You know what God is trying to get you to do? Learn your lesson. That's all if you don't get nothing else, every day he takes you through to get you to. Now, if you're a child, if you're Kari or the oldest person in the room, who I don't know who's the oldest person in the room, but my point to you is, if you know him, if you have a relationship with him, he has already started in you. That means if you're overly emotional, he's going to try and die that down. So he's going to let things hit you. He's going to let things hit you because he wants you to stop getting so emotional about that and controlling them. If you're very prideful, he's going to let things hit you till you decide to humble yourself. And so in the situation, as you continue to bark, it gets worse. But when you learn to bow, it gets better. He playing with you till you figure out how to play the game. And then you have to figure out what's wrong with me. Moving on. All right, moving on. Number three. It's the same thing you said about you. Because you do the same thing. It's the same thing you said about, I'll explain. It's the same thing you said about you because you do the same thing. It will marry the first point. So, you have to ask yourself, is what I say the same thing I say about myself? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it uplifting? How do I say what I say? Maybe I'm the problem in the situation. Because vocabulary is pretty much the same every day for everybody. You say the same things until you introduce to yourself a new lesson or a new word. Then you add that word or you add that lesson to your life. Or you learn the lesson, throw the lesson away, and have to reproduce the same lesson learned. What I'm saying to you is, if you don't take what you've learned and change who you are, 9 times, 30% of the time, if you just change a little bit, nobody notices. You change 60% of the time, people are like, well, what's that? Why'd you do that? You change consistently, all of a sudden they expect what you've changed into. What I want you to understand, and I want you to get from this, is if we say the same words and we do the same things, then it's you. It's you. So if I need to get better, who do I need to change? If I need to speak better, what do I need to change? My words. How I say what I say and the words I use. The words I use make a difference. Because, hear me, not everybody grew up with the same words. And I didn't think that that would make a difference because they're just words until I learned that some words are triggers for people. Now, I myself teach you not to be triggered by anything, right? Does that mean that you are not triggered instantly? No, it takes time. So if I know it triggers you, and I tell you you shouldn't be triggered by it, and you agree with me, do I say it? No. About 15, 16 years ago, the girl on the left didn't like when people say, whatever. Now, I mean whatever. Now, you know, us, can say whatever, and it means 17 different things. But some people don't like whatever no matter how you say it. And I'm like, you know, whatever. It's like, what? I know he's about to faint. It's like, whatever. So I just erased whatever from my vocabulary. I use it in text message to other people. I don't even say what no more to some people. Because wook can be a problem. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, what I need you to gather, what I need you to understand, what I need you to figure out, it's you. And you have to figure out you. You need to figure out what you say and how you say it to fix what you get back. Now, this is the key to everything that I said. What you get what? Back. What is everybody in some way, shape, or form is selfish. You can't not be selfish. Now, you can have levels of selfishness, but you're going to preserve yourself. Now, some of us, we sacrifice ourselves, but in some way, shape, or form, you still have a form of selfishness to preserve yourself. So, the question usually is what you want what? Back. The reciprocation. What do you want back? So, if the question is what do I want back, I have to ask myself, what am I willing to say to get a positive what? Response. So I have to change what I say to get a positive response. Because nobody works exactly the same. That's why I can preach the same sermon to everybody in the room and everybody gets something different. Everybody heard something different. And then people are like, you know, Pastor was coming straight for me. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. How would I know? How would I know? This was written 2 weeks ago. We had that argument yesterday. Not possible. Anyway, some preachers do it. But anyway, I need you to gather that. I need you to get that in your mind. I need you to understand that. Everything is going to be how you choose. Now, there will be people, and I do have to say this before I walk away, there will be people that normally will respond no matter what the way they want to respond. You cannot change that. But you can be better than the day you were before. Those are the keys to life.